Yes, it's true. Licking doorknobs is illegal on other planets. Minasan konnichiwa. Okay, so recently I have hit the 1 year mark of living in Japan. So I thought that maybe this would be a good time to make a video to discuss the 10 things I have learned while living in Japan. All right? I'll preface this with, I guess take everything with a grain of salt. Every single person's gonna have a different experience, and everything I'm telling you that happened to me doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna happen to you or it's gonna be your experience. Also, most people that are coming to Japan are probably gonna go somewhere like Tokyo, and I'm willing to bet that my experience living in Kyushu is extremely different from somebody living in Tokyo. Tokyo is another country as far as I'm concerned, but yeah. So this is my experience, 1 year living in Japan. The 10 things that I've learned. Probably the most important thing, by and far, no doubt, is that Japanese is 100% essential for you to learn. You need to learn Japanese if you plan on living here at all. Even if your sole intention is to come here for only 1 year, and you know that and you're 100% sure you're only going to stay for 1 year, you should still, learn some basic kanji, speak some basic Japanese, because people, maybe, like I said, in Tokyo maybe it's different, but here in Kyushu and in Kumamoto, people don't speak English. It's rare. It's extremely rare. I have not encountered many people that speak English. It took me a lot of time in studying to learn Japanese. I'm by no means fluent or anything, but finally have learned enough after about a year to hold my own in conversations and get around by myself for the most part. Number one thing I've learned, learn Japanese, and my number one recommendation for you, learn Japanese. Oh, number two. Okay, so the Japanese driving test, just even thinking about it gives me anxiety. So, okay, I'll start off with saying I took the Japanese driving test 7 times. 7 times before I passed, all right? A little bit of history. I am a military vet. I drove LMTV, so big trucks in the military with water trailers and extra cargo trailers in the back, and doing all kinds of like field driving and stuff like that in big military vehicles. I was an Uber driver in university. I did some delivery driving. I worked in like traveling pet sitting, where my job was just going from client to client house. Like, I've driven across the US. I've done lots and lots of driving. Never had an accident. Nothing. But when I came to Japan, I thought, oh, I get a driver's license. That'll be easy. I'll just go take the test and whatever. Yeah. So I took the test. I was driving the first time, and I was like, that was pretty easy. I get out, and he said, Jimmy-san, dame. I said, what? And yeah, they told me that I failed, and I couldn't believe it. And that happened 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times before I passed that test. And I'll tell you what, honestly, I never did anything different anytime I ever took the test. They say that there's these specific rules, like, when you make a left turn, you need to be like 1 meter exactly from the curb to make a turn, and when you turn right, you need to be half a meter. But it's like, I don't have a fucking ruler when I'm driving, so I don't know what they're expecting of that. I even went to a driving course with like, you should, if actually they say it's like half meter, but if you're 0.37 meters closer to the curb, then they'll count that for more points. I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to do that? just talking about it pisses me off. But read on the internet that people who don't go to their like really expensive driving schools, that they think that they want to make them come many times to pay to like make up for not going. I don't know if that's true, but whatever is going on, it's a scam. Obviously I can drive, so yeah, but I have it now. I'm still bitter about it, but I do have my driver's license now, so yeah. Simple enough. Japanese toilets are absolutely god tier. If you have anything against bidets, Japanese toilets in general, if you have a problem with water that cleans you, really cleans you, heated toilet seats, controlling water temperature and water pressure and all these things, if you have a problem with that, I feel sorry for you. But to each their own, I guess. But if you dislike these toilets, man, you're really missing out. Number 4. All right, so Japanese gyms are really expensive and have sometimes strange rules. So gyms themselves are not bad. So far, over the course of a year, I've been a member of 3 different gyms. One, I don't even recall the name of it. It was only for a month. The other 2 were Gold's Gym and Anytime Fitness. Gold's Gym, is obviously the top tier, the better gym. But, man, I don't know how much Gold's Gym costs in America, but in Japan, I paid over $100 a month. And that was they have all these different packages where you can go cheaper. And these are some of the weird rules or kind of, things about gyms that I'm talking about, is that a lot of gyms limit the times that you can go. Like Gold's Gym gives you the option to have like unlimited entrance, right? And it's like the top tier package, which costs about $100 a month. But the normal packages, which are actually only like $60 a month, but they tell you that, oh, you can only go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week and only for 45 minutes at a time. I don't understand it. Like, I've never, as an American, I don't know anywhere. I've never been to a gym where they've limited the amount of times that you can go. Like, that's pretty, it was strange to me. When they asked me, I was like, oh, how many times do you go to the gym? I thought they were just asking like, casually. I usually do 5 days, or something like 2 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 1 day off, something like that. I say, oh, okay, so you'll want the unlimited package. Unlimited package. Like, what am I talking about? A cell phone here? I don't understand. Like, so they said, oh, well, if you're gonna go that much, then you want to get the one that allows you to come in all the time. They're like, this other one, it only lets you come in 2 times a week between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. for 45 minutes. And I'm just like, what? And then for double the price, you get unlimited. Yeah, it's weird. I found kind of a happy medium though at Anytime Fitness, where I'm at now. I know it's a franchise club. Most gyms are, but the one I go to is about $70 a month, which I think is still pretty expensive for a gym, right? Especially for an Anytime Fitness. I don't recall them being that expensive in America. But in Japan, $70 for a gym that has like pretty high quality equipment and lets you go as much as you want, it's actually pretty nice. So I'm not complaining too much about that. But yeah, as far as some of the strange rules is, you have to bring 2 pairs of shoes with you every time you go to the gym. One is your street shoes, and then one is your gym shoes. But there's no way of ever knowing like where your street shoes or your gym shoes have actually been. And there's, at least at my gym, there's no clear like differentiation as to where you should wear what shoe. It's a little bit confusing to me. I usually just wear like some kind of like Nike slides and then bring gym shoes in my bag. But I'll literally see people wear gym shoes and then change into gym shoes, and it doesn't make any sense because it's like, I mean, my slides that I'm wearing in, my street shoes or whatever, I have worn them wherever, and it's like my gym shoes, I haven't worn them forever. It's not like they're clean and the gym's the only place they've touched, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna judge. It's their rule. But one that I can't get behind is the whole banning of tattoos. It's one of those things. I respect the culture, I do, but it's, how do I say it? The last time I joined the gym, they said, oh, well, you know, you can't have obviously I have visible tattoos, right? So they said, oh, you can't have tattoos. You can have tattoos, but you have to cover them up when you're working out. And I said, all right, yeah, no problem. But then they had told the managers, and suddenly like 3 or 4 people came out of the back room and asked me. They said in Japanese, do you have a tattoo? And I said, yeah, I have a few. And they said, oh, can I see? I said, sure. So I lifted my sleeve up and I showed them, and they, oh, kakui, which means like, oh, that's cool. But one of the people that was there looking at me and was like looking at the tattoos was the owner of the gym. So I was curious. I was thinking, you know, okay, if all the employees think they're cool and the owner likes it too, then why am I not allowed to have these? But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Number 5. There are point cards for absolutely everything. I'm not joking. So every convenience store, Family Mart, 7-Eleven, Lawson's. Actually, maybe one of those doesn't. I don't remember. But yeah, like 7-Eleven has your Nanako, and then Lawson's has Panta, and there are these point cards that you get, and it's similar to kind of like in stores in America where you get like, well, same thing, like a point card, right? But typically what happens is, you know, you don't have too many of them, and you can usually, like, you don't need to carry them around. You can look them up by phone number. You type in your phone number in a panel or something. They don't have that in Japan, so every single store everywhere you go will have its own separate point card, and then some point cards overlap each other, and then there are points for other points that stack onto other points to get points for other points and points here, and yeah, cards for everything, because it is kind of annoying to keep up with. But I do recommend getting point cards at convenience stores and grocery stores, because you're probably going to spend a lot of money there, so you might as well get some points out of it. Number 6, Japanese restaurants are amazing. There's no tipping in Japan, because so in America, you know, the average dine-in restaurant for 2 people is, let's see, if you sit down, you dine in, and you eat like, I don't know, just a burger and fries and have a tip, is what, like $30 total for 2 people? Maybe more, depending on what you get. That's probably if you get water. In Japan, you can go to dine-in restaurants and eat with 2 people for like $10. It's pretty normal. You go to a beef bowl restaurant, order a beef bowl, sit down, you both eat, and it's 10 yen, $10, 1,000 yen. So that's pretty awesome. And the service is always great. The waiters don't come and bother you like they do in American restaurants, because they don't need, they're getting paid an hourly wage. They're not going to butter you up to make tips, so you don't need to worry about that. But the food, oh my god. It's like every restaurant I go to, the food is amazing. It's so rare to find bad food. I don't really think I've come across anywhere where I found bad food. There's been like a couple things that I don't like to eat, but I've never come across just straight up like poorly cooked or bad food. And even expensive food and stuff, it's rare unless you're going to like high-end sushi restaurants. Like it's not expensive. It's even conveyor belt kaiten sushi. Conveyor belt sushi is really cheap, but it's often really delicious. I mean, most conveyor belt 100 yen sushi is better than like most high quality sushi I'd come across in America. So yeah, I'm really impressed by that. Number 7. All right, so learn, adapt, and respect Japanese culture, but do not lose your own culture. So Japan is a very like cultural based society, and that's fine, and I love it. I'm not telling everybody to just do whatever you want just because you think you can. Don't do that. That's really stupid, actually. But I'm telling you, don't eat when you're walking. Don't drink when you're walking. Don't talk on the train. Don't talk on the bus. Don't do obvious things that you're not supposed to do in Japan. Please, when you have business meetings, take the business cards with both hands. Give the business card with both hands. Don't put it in your wallet. Those etiquette rules, absolutely 100% follow them, right? But one thing you'll run across is like in Japanese companies a lot is when the work culture is when you tend to draw a line. I could never get behind working at a company and working overtime and asking like, why are we still here? Why are we working overtime? Because Japanese culture. Like overtime is your culture? How's that work? And it's things like that where you don't need to lose your own mindset. Don't do things just because you think you need to. Do them because they're respectful, right? So just be careful. Don't lose yourself. Number 9, Japanese cinemas are so cool. Okay, I don't mean to rag on America too much. I kind of do, but in America, most of my encounters with movie theaters have been that they're loud, they're frustrating. For some reason, the air conditioning and the utilities never work. They're always dirty. They're always fucking sticky. The concessions are really, really expensive. One thing I was surprised by, the bathrooms in the cinemas are clean. The bathrooms are really clean. The theater is clean. It's really clean. It seems like every theater I've ever been to was made yesterday. Like, it is ridiculous. The concessions are the same price as you'd buy something from a convenience store, essentially. I mean, so I can go and I can get a boba milk tea and a medium popcorn, I guess, for $5. But when you go to the Japanese cinemas, people always stay for the credits. So they stay through the whole credits until the screen closes and shuts off and the lights turn back on. Everybody's there. Yeah. This is pretty standard in Japan, actually. When you come into the room, See, my bed is put up against the wall, and the blankets are folded in the corner. Some people will fold up the beds and put them in the closet. That's too much effort. Same thing with the blankets. We just moved in, so things are, you know, whatever. That's not the most important thing right now. There's my nightstand book. Currently reading The Name of the Wind. Again, nice book. So you put them up against the wall, or you get these little wooden grates to set them on so that they don't mold. Because if there's any kind of moisture that stays under them and they stay flat, they do start to mold a little bit. So when it comes time to go to sleep, you just pull the mattress down and get your stuff over here, blankets and pillows or whatnot, and you lay. As you see, it's pretty flat on the floor, but man, is it comfortable. So one thing too, though, it helps is my floor. It looks like hardwood, but it's actually I don't know. It is wood, but it's like a matted type of wood. So there's some kind of cushion in it. It's really comfortable, actually. Ugh. See, just doing this as an example already makes me tired. I want to sleep, so it might be time for a nap. But yes, please, at least try it. If nothing else, sleeping on the floor saves you a lot of money, because this whole mattress, it's a double size. I'm a big dude, right? So, sure, my feet are sticking off because I'm not laying all the way at the top, but this fits two people. Two people sleep in this bed. So I mean, it's extremely comfortable, and it cost me about $200. That's it. And that was from like a pretty expensive bed store called My Makura, which means my pillow. Yeah, so if anything, it saves you money. All we bought was this mattress and put a sheet over it. So I mean, give it a shot. At least you're not losing out too much. And even if you do decide you want a bed, you can always put the futon on top of it. So I recommend it. Please give it a try. All right. Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, Johnny.